So the other day I had this idea. What if I tried to write 10,000 words in Spanish in 30 days as a way to level up my Spanish, specifically my output abilities? Hey, what's up? I'm Joe Previtt. I'm a software engineer, language learning nerd. I'm a dad and I use Spanish daily, and I'm always looking for ways to level up my Spanish through different experiments. So one of the things that I'm always thinking about is how do I get better at Spanish, specifically my outputting? I've gotten my input and my ability to comprehend and listen and all of that to a really good level. And so right now I'm at a phase where I'm trying to figure out what's going to take my Spanish to the next level in terms of outputting, and what is something that I can do, some little experiment, maybe it's a daily activity that's going to help me level up. So the other day I was scrolling on YouTube, checking out some videos from the Refold channel, trying to figure out what should I try next. And so as I was scrolling, this video caught my attention. Blogging your way to success in a new language. And it caught my attention because I've actually tried this method for learning a language before. Back in college, when I was learning Portuguese for Spanish speakers, I started a blog after reading a book from Chris Guillebeau called The Art of Nonconformity. And so I started a blog back then on WordPress. This was back in 2013 as a way to practice my Portuguese. So I know the power of blogging. I know that it works. And so I thought, how hard would it be to do this? And so rather than saying, I'm going to start writing every day, I wanted to come up with a fixed goal. So I landed on the number 10,000. Why? Because my thinking was I wanted to commit to something I could do for a month. If you divide 10,000 by 30 days, that's around 330 words per blog post, or per day, actually, in this case. And so I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. So I went over to Bear Blog, like Ben recommended in the video, set up a blog and started writing that day. The first day was actually pretty easy. I wrote for 5 to 10 minutes, as much as I could think of on a certain topic. I just thought of a random topic and I started writing. And that blog post had 222 words. So then I wrote the next day, 237. And the first 3 days I realized this is actually harder than I thought. Like I can barely write 300 words and it feels like I'm just repeating myself and using the same words, the same verbs, the same nouns, the same adjectives. And it felt like I sucked, but I kept it up. I said, it'll get better over time. Maybe I'll get more comfortable at outputting, putting my words and my thoughts to paper, or in this case, to digital paper. And so I kept at it. And shortly I reached a 2-week streak of writing every day of almost 200 words or more. But then shortly after that 2-week streak, it felt like my motivation was dying. I hit one of the worst days. There was one day where I was like, I don't even want to write. And I literally wrote that. That blog post had 64 words. It got really hard because I was like, I feel like my vocabulary sucks. And this was just a reminder, writing every day, trying to output, trying to come up with new ways to phrase things. And I was consuming Spanish native content at the time. So it's not like I was just doing this. I was listening to podcasts, watching shows, but I kept at it. And so finally, after 30 days, I had 30 blog posts. And in total, I ended up writing 8,000 words. So I was about 2,000 short for my 10,000 goal, but I kept it up. I successfully had 30 days of writing, and I did something that I'd never done before, write a blog in Spanish. And so to me, that was a win. And so as I'm sitting here now, reflecting on this experience and thinking about, was it worth it? Would I recommend it to a friend? Absolutely. I think it's something that everybody should try because it shows you some of your gaps. For me, it made me realize that I'm probably using the same 1,000 words in my vocabulary to express these things. And I need to really challenge myself to reach the next level in my outputting abilities if I really want to take my Spanish farther. The best part, though, of the whole experience was that it felt like I had a place to put my thoughts out. Obviously with work and family and language learning and just, if you're one of those people where it feels like your brain is always running. For me, sometimes it feels like that. And sometimes I'll send voice messages to friends. I'll hit them up and be like, hey, have you ever thought about this? And so instead, this gave me an outlet to talk about those ideas. And so that was awesome. So I got to take the ideas that were inside my brain, kind of put them into Spanish, try and form these thoughts into something that was cohesive, and practice my Spanish at the same time. So it felt like a win-win. And the biggest takeaway was this is a great way. This is a daily activity that you can use to increase your output abilities. And the thing that I like it is you can do it at your own time. Some days I wrote in the morning before work. Some days I wrote in the evening after my kids went to sleep. And so I liked that. I liked the flexibility of this. But the biggest thing, the biggest eye-opener for this was that I really need to figure out something, some way, some method, some practice to improve my vocabulary. Because this, even though I did some lookups here and there, it made me realize I got to figure something out for vocabulary. And this isn't it. But overall, it was a great learning experience. And I totally recommend you give it a try. So thanks to Ben for making that video and inspiring me to do this. Thanks to Bearblog for making an easy way to spin up a blog without any code. And thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Have you tried something similar? Have you come up with some practice to help you get better at vocabulary that you think I should try? Let me know.